Number one, yes, I'm standing. And number two, what other change is going on here? Let's see if someone can find out. And number three, I drove for Uber Eats this past weekend here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I don't know why, I made some pretty big mistakes that really ate into my earnings here. And I guarantee you, after watching this shift, seeing the mistakes that I made, you're absolutely gonna learn something. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike. On this channel, I help you with the gig economy, your side hustle, your full-time hustle, making money and creating multiple revenue streams. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. So yes, driving in my hometown in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on Uber Eats, and I've been doing this for years. I started in the gig economy in rideshare actually with Uber in 2015. So I've been in this whole gig economy for a while now, but I guess still can be prone to making mistakes. So you're going to want to see this. It doesn't matter what food delivery app you drive for. Check out what happened on this shift. So starting on this shift, there seems to be a debate about if I should drive to a certain starting location or if I should just go online from my current location, aka your home, right? Or wherever you're at. So let me know. Answer that question down below in the comments. But I got a car wash and I just went online from there. This was pretty close by here. So $7.05 for 1.2 miles. What is that? Well, that is our strong dollars to mile ratio, right? It's how much am I getting paid for the miles driven. It's not paying out a ton, $7. I always like $10+ orders, but let's take it. And from there, of course, yes, it didn't take long for me to make mistake in number one. And yes, there's multiple mistakes on this shift here. But let me ask you a question before you see this next order here. Think to yourself, again, on any food delivery app, what is the ideal stacked order? That's a stacked order. It's 2 assignments or more for one driver. So what does the ideal stacked order look like for you? Does it look something like this for $20.73? It's a stacked order because we can see that number 2 here, of course, on Uber Eats. And the miles, it's decent. It's still $2+ a mile payout. It's 10.5 miles. Now looking at the screenshot, let's go to this again here. And you can see, well, I'm like driving up on the location, right? I'm pretty close to this Chipotle here. And again, the dollars to mile are strong on this. And again, the payout is good. The cash flow, it's $20+. Anytime you can get that $10+ order payout, that's fantastic. So what is the red flag on this one? I need to make sure I pay attention to this more. Now, my brother, Matt, he actually drives here for these apps as well here in Pittsburgh. And he's really looking at what? The dollars to time ratio. How much am I getting paid for the expected time to complete this delivery? So this one, yeah, it's quoted at 77 minutes to complete this. So let's think about maybe the positives and the negatives of that, because it's not all bad. So firstly, why would that not really matter? Okay, 77 minutes. Yes, it's a long time. It's over an hour, but you're getting $20+. So if you're okay with that, to make in essence $20 an hour, then you could take this one. But my challenge to you really this year is to hit $25 an hour in any dinner rush. So because of that, because of the distance, and thirdly, because of the restaurant, Chipotle, I probably should have declined this one. But honestly, I was in the mindset of cash flow. There's 2 real strategies whenever you're driving on these apps here. Number one, it's cash flow, right? It's just how much money can I bring in? And then number 2, really it's efficiency. It's taking maybe less runs, but higher paying runs. Keeping that margin tighter as far as profitability. Now here's the kicker on this one. So 77 minutes, why is it, right? Why is it 77 minutes, especially for just 10 miles? Well, lean in for this. But the kicker is this is really kind of the worst combo when it comes to stack orders. What do I mean by that? Well, the first pickup was at Chipotle, and then the second pickup was at Five Guys. Five Guys, a restaurant that really doesn't even start preparing it until you get there, hence more and more delay. But honestly, the delay wasn't from the restaurants on this one. There's all these algorithms as far as how Uber Eats and even other apps calculates this estimated time here. But Surprisingly, for this one, it wasn't even the restaurants. Chipotle was on their game. Five Guys were on their game for this one. It was just the routes. There was traffic. It took a decent amount of time to get to these customers. So speaking of taking a lot of time to get to your customer, it's pulling you outside of your busy zones, what we call a power strip, really an area that's really dense with a lot of restaurants. You want to stay in those power strips. Now, if you get pulled away, like you're seeing here, you can use a destination filter on Uber Eats. So this is filtering requests into a certain area. So in this case, I really wanted to get back to the central Pittsburgh area. That's kind of near the University of Pittsburgh. So I just used that as my destination filter. Now keep in mind, you only get a certain amount of those filters per day. But again, if you get pulled away from those power strips on Uber Eats, use a destination filter to try to get a request that's going to pull you even deeper to where you want to be. Well, excellent. There's a mistake here. Well, what about this one? It's $14.67, a stacked order, but I learned my lesson. It's 54 minutes to complete this one. I'm declining. Same thing here. It's $22.63 for 62 minutes. I mean, it really just was traffic, just navigating these streets here, and a stacked order. I declined. Similar thing here with positioning. Again, you get the pattern here, 1979, but 69 minutes to complete. So if you're declining, and I just declined a good amount of orders here, and again, this can be on any food delivery app really, you have that freedom to decline, right? And this is what you really want to look for after declining. You're waiting for something like this. It's that $10+ payout, which is what I really like here. So it's $12.02. It's from a spot that I've picked up before, so I know that they're going to be on their game, right? And the estimated time, it's only 20 minutes. And the miles are just 3.3 miles. So what is this doing, right? It's checking off the dollars to mile ratio. I like that payout per mile. And then number two, our dollars to time ratio. It's also checking that off as well. It's not going to take too long. And then even number three, the positioning and the strategy. This is going to bring me into downtown. I'm comfortable with that. The downtown Pittsburgh marketplace. It isn't something like my past marketplace in San Diego. I'm fine with that, except. Quick time out here because I want to ask you a question. So how many times do you have to decline before you get, let's say, an order that pays you $2+ a mile? Will you never see $2+ a mile? Or will it just be something like this? You need to decline 2, 3, 4 times before you get that really ideal order. So let me know down below in the comments, and let's look at our next order request because this is one of the other mistakes in this shift here. It's good cash flow. It's $24.73, but it's 14.4 miles. It's really the longest, the furthest order request that we've seen, right? And again, it's a pickup from Chipotle. I don't know why, I guess I didn't learn my lesson, but I talked about this in my story, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. You can watch those stories on mobile, but there's something else here that I really, really should have been paying attention to. So unlike Postmates and unlike DoorDash, with Uber Eats, you really have limited information as far as the route. Where is the delivery going, especially because you can't zoom in and zoom out on the order request screen. But what you can do is at least look at the cross streets. So we can see the cross streets on this one, but even more so than that, it at least gives me the, town, city, the region. In this case, it's Monroeville. Now I know Monroeville, that's a good 30 minutes or so. That's actually east of the city. Remember, I'm currently downtown. So I should have seen Monroeville and immediately thought, that's going to be a good 20+ minutes there. And then I got to really come back into the city to go home. So big, big, big mistake. So your takeaway when you're driving is looking at that cross street as well on Uber Eats and looking at, again, that city or that region that it's telling you. Pay attention to that because if it's far away, just make note of that. So yeah, we can literally visualize this to see exactly how far away that Monroeville delivery is taking me. I honestly can't tell you why I took that order to Monroeville. It was literally 25 minutes to that customer, and that was actually a stacked order. So I had to take order number 1, deliver it, and then continue out to Monroeville, made that delivery, and of course come back in to the city to go home. I don't know why. I think I was just thinking about cash flow or something on this shift here, but I guess what really tells more of the story are the numbers. So let's take a look at the numbers. So this all over shift here in Pittsburgh was from 1:45 p.m. until 4:15 p.m. Now my gross revenue during this shift was $64.53. Not all bad when you consider my gross revenue per hour was $25.81, but honestly, I feel like this could have been more had I not been doing all of that driving. During this shift, I completed 6 deliveries. I did receive 6 tips, which is nice, of course, and I did receive slightly higher than average tips, an average tip of $5.09. The miles is what really hurt me on this. Again, I feel like just wasting time driving for these far deliveries, but the cash flow, again, was pretty good here, but business miles at 36.5. I did just barely hit our threshold here for $1.77 per mile. And as a reminder, your goal this year should really be to up the stakes and try to hit $1.75 payout per mile. But based on those business miles, I do get a tax deduction of $20.44. So I hope you learned, or at least got a refresher on what to look at. Again, really on any food delivery app, it's a reminder of the dollars to mile ratio, but also, and it really showed in this scenario, equally as important, let's say, is the dollars to time ratio as well as positioning. So let me know down below in the comments, have you ever made any of those frustrating mistakes, maybe even accepting an order because you saw a really high cash payout and you wanted that payout just to realize that it was pretty far away and it was going to take a good amount of time? Let us know. And if you got value in this video, definitely drop me a like, and you can also click or tap the screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you, and I'll see you in the next one.